Indie Beacon Radio with host B Alan Bourgeois. Welcome to Indie Beacon Radio, where creative souls can find help in marketing their creations. You can send questions for each show on Twitter using the hashtag IndieBeacon. Now sit back and enjoy learning about our guest for this show.
Hi, this is B Alan Bourgeois. I am your host for this episode of the Indie Beacon Show, and with me I have Daniel Bolan. Welcome, Daniel. We're glad you're here.
Thank you for having me.
Pleasure. So, Daniel, you're a very busy person. Not only are you an author, you're an aspiring lawyer. You have a background as an Eagle Scout. You've also done Taekwondo. You have a majors in political science, international affairs, analytical intelligence. Are you going to be a CIA operative or something of that nature?
I'm hoping so. I'm hoping to, through all my schoolwork and through all that, to work in one of the departments nationwide.
So I've got to ask, why do you want to do that?
Well, to begin with, I think we need some more leadership in those departments. And what I've done with all my philanthropy that I've done for 8 years or so now, I think we need some real younger leadership, but also independent leadership as well. Someone who can bring a new face to these departments, whether it's the State Department or the FBI or the CIA.
Okay. So I'm going to ask this as a devil's advocate, because I am older than you by a few years. One of the things that we constantly hear the older generation say to the new generation is you don't have the experience. What makes you qualified to bring in new leadership?
Well, to begin with, I've got a lot of people working around me. My father, and I've got many people who I look up to in your generation who are working with those agencies currently. So I'm already beginning my research and aspirations, even as a millennial, even though I might not have been able to work in the agencies yet.
Okay. So one of the aspects that you've done as far as your nonprofit work is the Student Veterans Foundation, which is part of the reason why you've written the book. But let's go into the foundation itself. What does it actually mean, Student Veterans Foundation?
So the Student Veterans Foundation provides student veterans with needs and resources to help them from soldier to student to success. And we do this by offering on-campus programs as well as off-campus programs for these student veterans. In the research that I did on 30 plus colleges and universities, I found that student veterans weren't being treated as well as they should, and we need to thank them for their service. So when I did the research, I found that they need some serious help on these college campuses. And so what I did with reading the book and starting the foundation was working with student veterans to see how I can meet their needs and how the foundation can meet their needs.
Okay. So the book is entitled Forgotten Leaders. Why did you title it that?
I titled it that because they are exactly that. They are our forgotten leaders. Once they're in the military, they're in a structured program, but once they get out into civilian life and college life, we just forget about them. We hand them their GI money and we say, go have fun in college, good luck getting your degree, and that's that. So I think we need to do all that we can, especially my generation, to give back to those veterans and to help them in their college success.
So specifically, give us some details of how you actually do that through the foundation.
Yes, well, for one of our programs, the on-campus program, we have a four-course credited program that the student veterans can take that help them from the first day they get on the college campus all the way through graduation and into their career. The course comprises of material that was approved by Tony DiTino, who saved IBM in his 20 plus years of working there, and has also been validated by Harvard and MIT, and will be accredited by the University of California at Fullerton.
Why only those schools? Is it scheduled to be accredited at other universities as well, or help us understand that?
Yes, it will be accredited at other schools. We're just starting the programs on campus in California, Texas, and Florida. So CU Fullerton reached out, and we've been working with them on the accreditation process and how we can reach out to other schools to get the program accredited there.
Okay. So I'm assuming you chose veterans because you have somebody in your family that is a veteran?
Both of my grandfathers were veterans, yes.
So nobody currently, like a brother or anything of that nature?
No.
Okay. So how did you get that firsthand knowledge that they were being forgotten?
Well, it goes a few years back when I started Strike for Vets, where we ran bowling tournaments for veterans charities doing good work in their areas, like the Fisher House, for example. And we started seeing student veterans coming to these events more and more. And they were having a good time. And when we got to talking to them, my dad and I, we found out about what was going on in college campuses. And now that I'm in college and seeing the problems and meeting with student veterans firsthand, I want to see what I can do from a personal aspect, as well as how the foundation can help these student veterans get the needs and resources.
So your organization is still fairly new. About how, when did you actually start working on, or I should say working with veterans?
So I started the foundation 2 years ago, but I've been working with veterans for 7.5, 8 years now.
So even though it's been 2 years for the foundation and you've worked with them for a few years, have you seen your actual practice come to fruition where veterans have actually achieved and been able to get into the workforce easier?
Well, with coronavirus going on and all the student veterans being off campus, it's been a little bit harder to get in contact with the student veterans as well as the universities. I will say we are working on a pilot program to make sure we have student veterans who are able to go through the process and go through our material, and that's being ran by Tony and Michael Dottino as part of my team.
So you mentioned it's a 4-course program, ideal one every year of the college. So give us an example of what the first year might be like.
Well, we take them from right when they get to the college campus. We build teams of connectivity around them. So that provides some structure that they had in the military, but they might not have while in college. And we go through different topics, whether it's mental health or job training, and these teams work together, as well as having an overall advisor while working on these programs.
Okay, you brought up mental health, and we'll get into that in the next subject because that is one of the major concerns for a lot of veterans returning and stuff. But I'm getting the sense that by teaming them up with people, it's not just fellow college students, but professionals within the community.
Correct.
Okay, cool. So we're going to step away, let our sponsors do their thing. We'll be right back.
I'm Rox Berkey.
And I'm Charles Brakefield. We're award-winning co-authors, Brakefield and Berkey, of the Enigma book series. There are 10 books in the series, with book number 11 planned for release in January 2020.
Each story has a central technology focus ranging from identity theft to cryptocurrency and now AI wars. These adult techno thrillers pit cyber good guys against cyber thugs across the darknet.
In our world, technology is today's weapon of choice. You can enjoy ebook format, paper, or Audible. We want your feedback.
Until the next story, thank you.
Thanks.
Well, hello there, my friends. My name is Randy James, independent voiceover producer in the Dallas, Texas area, available to write and record a 30-second commercial, much like the one you're hearing right now. It's a great way to help increase awareness and exposure to your book title. It's easy to do. Simply call me and we'll brainstorm on a few ideas, and in a few hours, I'll whip something up and send you a digital file ready to use. Remember, call or text me, Randy James, at 214-762-1942.
Welcome to IndieLector.store, an online bookstore where the discriminating reader can find award-winning books. IndieLector.store is not a big corporation, so we can give up to 80% of the sales directly to the author. Help us support them by buying a great book at IndieLector.store.
Hello, I am the author and poet Denise Bryson. I am the author of The Things That Cross My Mind, Love's Reality, both in book and audio form. I am also noted as one of the best poets of 2011. I have two new projects coming up. One is the Blinky series, where Blinky tells us all about our coins and our bills for our children. I also have a book coming out called Say Ye. It's quotes from Denise Bryson, just inspirational and that will help you along the way.
Welcome back to Indie Beacon Radio. Don't forget to like us, follow us, or subscribe to one of our many channels. Now, here is your host for today's show.
And welcome back. This is your host, B Alan Bourgeois. Try that one again. Welcome back. This is your host, B Alan Bourgeois. We are at Indie Beacon Show, and I have with me Daniel Bolan, who has created a foundation and also a book called The Forgotten Leaders. The foundation is called the Student Veterans Foundation. So let's just kind of recap a little bit. Daniel, how old are you?
21.
And you're in what year of college?
Heading into my senior year.
Senior year. So for the last 2 years, your freshman year, you didn't do much, but the last two, you really got into the program and getting it kicked off and stuff. You mentioned earlier that you matched the students, the veteran students, up with other people, professionals, as well as, I understood, college kids maybe going through their same classes or something of that nature. But you also mentioned the mental health aspect, and that is a concern for a lot of veterans coming back, especially because a lot of them are diagnosed with PTSD, post-traumatic syndrome. How are you dealing with that and helping those veterans dealing with that as they're going through the school?
Yes, well, one of the things we're doing is we're providing them connectivity and showing them that they do belong on our college campuses, and we want them to succeed. And what we've done with the auxiliary, we've brought professionals in to help with student veterans, as well as attend to their needs, for example, mental health needs. But we also provide them job training through those professionals who are from, say, off campus, but in their community, to bring them onto campus and help these student veterans.
Okay. I also know that a lot of veterans face homelessness and stuff. Is that an issue that you guys have been working with as well?
We have not gotten into that sector yet. We've primarily reached to on-campus student veterans, but we look to expand, of course.
Okay. The book itself is due out when?
It was due May 28th.
Was due, but it sounds like it got postponed. When are you hoping to see the actual release?
The book has been released.
Oh, it has been released. Okay. All right. I was under the impression it was delayed because of COVID. Okay. So with it being out there, what are your intentions with the book? What is the book designed to help you do for the foundation?
So the book's design is to create the argument on college campuses that the current system of these student veterans resource centers, these college presidents and administrators, need to pay more attention to student veterans and need to prioritize their needs and give back for all the service that they have provided. Because right now, on the 30 college campuses that my dad and I looked at, their needs are simply not being based, whether these resource centers are underfunded or understaffed. So that's the main objective of the book.
Okay. So what is the Army saying about your program? Or the military in general?
Yes, so we've reached out to them. We've talked briefly with people with the Army as well as the Air Force, and what we've done to how we can partnership with them. And we've gotten in contact with the transition services for those who are getting out of the military and into college life as sort of a pass-through, so we can start getting to them as fast as we can.
So basically, Lynn, those organizations know that you exist as a support system and have them help you connect quicker.
Correct.
Cool. What are the goals for the next 5 years for your foundation?
Well, one of the goals is we want to be nationwide. We want to get into as many states as we can, as many colleges as we can, and to stop the harassment and looking down on of student veterans on college campuses, because we do need to give back to their service. And I know I'm just a millennial, but it's a real passion that I have, not only just family, but friends as well.
So I've got to ask, when you say that they're being looked down at, what do you mean by that?
One example is a guy on my bowling team at my university. He's in his 50s and 60s, and many of the bowlers at first thought he was their dad or something. He thought that they were just a parent, not really a student, and they didn't really care about him. But once people started talking to him and getting engaged with him, they started to value him much more and see why we need to get more involved.
So again, specifically for the colleges, how do you feel that they're looking down at these servicemen returning? I mean, is there a specific type of behavior that goes on in the college levels, whether it be administration or students, that are affecting the students?
I think the problem with students my age is we can't really relate to what student veterans have gone through, so we can't really understand like how we need to reach out or connect with them. And then from the administration and president's perspective, they treat them like any other student so far. While we do have Veterans Resource Centers on college campuses, they are running on low budgets and low staff. So we found that, for example, on Liberty University, they can't care for all their students, especially student veterans, and that's what we need to address, and that's what the book addresses.
Okay, so in reaching out to the military and stuff, you have made this as a concern, the fact that these centers are underfunded. Have you gotten any response from Congress personnel that's saying, yeah, we need to help fund these better, or what can we do to help you, or any of that nature?
We've reached out to local congressmen and local senators. We're getting some movement with some state representatives, but we need to start bringing this to the national forefront.
And how do you plan on doing that? Is the book the main driving force for that, or do you have other programs in mind?
The book is the main driving force, as well as awareness for those who want to get more involved with student veterans and those who care about student veterans and their needs.
Okay. And other than that book, do you have any other plans to write more about this subject, or other types of subject related, or what?
I do have a plan to write a second book on the subject matter, but that's in the works right now, so can't speak too much about it.
Can't speak to, oh, come on. You gotta give us a little bit better tease.
But no, it will have to do with student veterans and the progress that we are hoping to see. So right now we're sort of just seeing how the first book goes and seeing how the program goes and building it up from there.
Okay. Out of curiosity, have you sent any copies to the president?
We have.
Any response?
Not at the moment.
Okay. Well, definitely work on the local congressmen, and matter of fact, the congressmen in those particular cities and counties that have those colleges that have accredited, because now they can actually see it work and be able to have that hands-on and stuff. So I wish you well on that. We're going to take a short break, let our sponsors do their thing. We'll be right back and wrap up and talk more about where people can find the book. We'll be right back.
Thank you for watching or listening to Indie Beacon Radio. Our sponsor, IndieLector.store, is the only bookstore that pays authors their fair share for book sales. Help authors to succeed and enjoy a great book by supporting them at IndieLector.store. Enjoy a 10% discount with coupon code SHOPPER20 at IndieLector.store. Coupon valid until December 31st, 2020. That's IndieLector.store, coupon code SHOPPER20.
What started as a love letter to her son has become an international love letter for all parents to their children. Now you can read acclaimed author Shanalee Charbonneau's story to your children. When her son was very sick, she calmed him by singing her own song to him. She turned that song into the book, My Mama Loves Me, I'm Her Little Boy. She wrote 3 more magical books for all parents and kids 6 and under. Available at Indie Lector, Amazon, and all local and national outlets.
Authors Marketing Guild is a membership-owned organization designed to help authors succeed and learn how to better market and sell themselves and their books. Join us at authorsmarketingguild.com and receive so many benefits you'll wonder why you didn't join sooner. That's authorsmarketingguild.com.
Welcome back to Indie Beacon Radio. Don't forget to like us, follow us, or subscribe to one of our many channels. Now, here is your host for today's show.
And welcome back. This is your host, B Alan Bourgeois. We are listening or watching the Indie Beacon Show. We have with us Daniel Bolan, who has written a book called Forgotten Leaders, which is designed to help his foundation, which is the Student Veterans Foundation, which ultimately helps veterans who want to get back into school, learn, get their degrees of various sorts, and become more valuable to our nation, even though they've already done so much for us. Let's start with Daniel. Where can people find the book?
Yes, so they can go to the Defiance Press website as well as studentveteransfoundation.org. There are links there where you can buy the book immediately there, or Amazon and Barnes & Noble both carry it as well.
Okay, do you autograph the book if they buy it on the website?
I can try.
We want to encourage people to buy it directly to the foundation so you get more money for it and stuff. And as far as reaching out to you to learn more about the program, the foundation, or just to get in contact with you, how can they do that?
Yes, so studentveteransfoundation.org. We have our website there with all our information and a little more in-depth analysis of what we talked about here today, as well as our YouTube page, which is just Student Veterans Foundation. And they can see more information and what we're all about.
On your YouTube page, have you interviewed veterans to talk about this, to show how you developed your program and stuff?
Yes, we also have student veterans working on the page as well.
Great. So you have people giving back, even though they're receiving from you and stuff, and that's wonderful. What hopes and dreams do you have over the next couple of years? We talked about 5-year goal, but what about the next 2 years? What's most important in the next 2 years for you?
For me personally, I want to graduate college, of course, and then go into law school or graduate school for political science or international relations if law is not in the works. But I would like to graduate and then just keep working on the foundation and building that up nationwide.
Now, you mentioned your dad. This is something you worked with him. I assume he's overwatching the foundation as you're going through your last year of college?
Yes, we are both working on it together. He's seen more of the financial aspects, and then I'm handling more of the material and content of the program.
So it's a team partnership for the most part.
Yes.
Great. And what does your mom and other siblings say about it?
My mom's engaged about it. She likes what we're doing. She thinks it's really needed as well. She works with multiple former student veterans, and she's talked to them about them, and they have the book as well. So it's a family effort, if you would like to say that.
Great. And as far as the press, because this is definitely something that is nationwide, that needs to happen and stuff. So what kind of press have you gotten and feedback from them?
Well, we've had multiple interviews just like this one with various people from different states, as well as we're reaching out to Fox and Friends, and we've got a call back from the Today Show as well. So we're hoping to make things work and not let coronavirus stop us too much.
Good, yeah. If anything, it's just slowing you down a little bit, but hopefully not stopping altogether. So, yeah. Well, I want to thank you for being with us. We wish you the best of luck, and we'd love to hear more about the second book when you've got it ready to go. So please reach back to us. In the meantime, the organization he has founded, and this is Daniel Bolan, is the foundation, the Student Veterans Foundation, and his book is called The Forgotten Leaders, and it's available pretty much anywhere or on the Veteran Student Foundation website. Thank you again, Dan. We appreciate you being here, Daniel, and we wish you the best of luck.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for listening to Indie Beacon Radio, where creative souls can find help in marketing their creations. To learn more about Indie Beacon services, to be a guest on the show, or to advertise on our show, please visit our website.
Indie Beacon Radio with the host, B Alan Bourgeois. Indie Beacon Radio is produced by B Alan Bourgeois for Authors Marketing Guild LLC, copyright 2020. Voiceover by Randy James, Lydia Bello, and B Alan Bourgeois. To be a sponsor of the show or for more information, please email us at info@authorsmarketingguild.com. To be interviewed for the show, please complete the form at radio.authorsmarketingguild.com. Music Always Rejoice by Ramcord